A Pakistani man has been sentenced to death for blasphemy. Taimur Raza was found guilty of insulting the Prophet Muhammad on Facebook. It's the first such conviction on charges arising from social media. His lawyers say they will appeal. And to discuss this further, Farzana Bari is a human rights activist. She joins me now live from Islamabad. Firstly, thank you so much for your time today, Farza. Now, there have been high-profile deaths over blasphemy before. From what I understand, since 1990, at least 65 people have been murdered in Pakistan over allegations of blasphemy as well. But this is the first time that someone has actually been sentenced to death over a social media post. What has pushed the state to carry out this measure?
I think state is increasingly getting worried with this social media space, which is kind of a more democratic space, and also it is being used to, like sort of contest government policies, so dissenting voices. So I think this is also government is now very keen to basically restrict that space, and it's always easy. What we have seen in the recent trend in Pakistan is that some of those websites or bloggers who have been critical of government policies have been accused of blasphemy, and then they've been arrested, and then so I think it's basically the overall kind of a very shrinking democratic space, and also increasing religious extremism around, and I think that's why this sentence is a matter of great concern to all of us, because this will we are already seeing, there is a lot of crackdown on bloggers, on social media activists, and particularly those who are actually critical of the state and the government policies. So this is one of, like, now the blasphemy is used in order to actually basically punish people.
The Pakistani government has recently asked Facebook and Twitter to help it identify users so they could be prosecuted. I also understand they're sending out text messages to citizens to ask them to refrain from posting things on Facebook. But some say these measures are only likely to provoke further violence. Why is that?
Yes, because I think the people, what we have seen, that blasphemy law has been consistently misused, in Pakistan. And now the government is giving another tool in the hand of those religious extremists and those people who maybe wanted to settle their own personal vendetta. And they will be now accusing their opponents and saying, oh, they have, posted a blasphemous content. And as you know, in the social media, Pakistan is still not ready. People have made fake IDs of others, whom, and they could accuse them. So we have not really addressing the kind of misuse of the social media, and then giving that kind of instructions to people, I think is giving another tool in the hand of those people who are either religious extremists or those who are unfair, and they could, use, like, their opponents. They can use this provision in order to settle their own personal scores with the people whom they might have some kind of conflicts. So I think this what we are saying, this is the beginning of that we are seeing in this particular case in Bahawalpur.
There is a high-profile case I was just reading about a journalism student that was brutally beaten after quite a difficult confrontation with some other students. It caused outrage across the country. It was quite a high-profile case, and even people like imams were coming out to defend the student that was killed. Why do you think this is happening? What is this very fiery line between blasphemy against Islam, but also talking about perhaps corruption and the problem with politics in Pakistan today?
I think it's obviously the larger political context in which, of course, the extremism is on the rise. This radicalization at one level is on the rise, as you have seen even in this very high-profile case of Mishal Khan, who was lynched by the mob in Peshawar Wali Khan University. Now, the joint investigation team has come up with this report whereby it says that it was premeditated murder, and he was not involved in any kind of blasphemous, activities. So this tells you, like, it becomes easier now that if you want to use that in order to settle your own personal conflict or vendetta, blasphemy law is now being used, because their overall atmosphere, because once you accuse somebody in blasphemy, then there is a general acceptance, if you have killed a person, there is a general acceptance from the public as well as the state institution that you will get away with any kind of punishment, So I think overall, this is an environment where this blasphemy law has been now massively misused, where people are actually not really involved in blasphemy cases, and increasingly there is a misuse of that.
Okay, well, we've run out of time. Thank you so much for your contributions to our program today, Farzana. Farzana Bari, the human rights activist in Islamabad.